also something that I learned about worms is that they came with handlers, and no worm was harmed during the filming of Rosario.
What the hell were you into? Balo is a religion that invokes spirits of the dead. Cobayende, collector of the dead. Once the terms are met, Cobayende will come to collect. What do you want from me?
It is super creepy. The occult is always a scary thing.
Yes, and especially when you're dealing with it every day on set and you're dealing with the actual cauldrons and pieces and rituals. We had to change some of the words because some weird things were happening. But yeah, it was
Oh,
fascinating to explore and deep dive into that world.
tell me about the weird things that were happening.
Well, the lights would go off, the camera would all of a sudden, it would start to rain, and we were just like, what's happening here?
Oh, wow. That's creepy. We're dealing with a Latina grandma here, but she's not your ordinary grandma.
Well, that you know of.
That we know of. Well, at least that we've seen in movies and television, right? Portrayed. They're always seen as the little abuelita cooking and saying, "Mija, do this, mija, do that." So not your typical grandma.
Yeah,
That's not my grandma. My grandma was a little bit tougher than that. So I wanted to, obviously, didn't go this far, but it was really fun to explore, an abuelita who had secrets like all families. There's secrets we might not know about until we really are forced to confront them.
So, Emeraude, you had to deal with some pretty gross things. It looked like on film. So, in person, like, what was the grossest thing that you had to uh, act
Oh,
alongside?
I know my answer. Dealing with the worms, they were so gross. I mean, they're so little and they feel so harmless, but I just couldn't get my way around them. I had to pull them out of my ear, my hand, and they were just so gross. But also something that I learned about worms is that they came with handlers, and no worm was harmed during the filming of Rosario. We always had to carefully put them on set. They could only do a few takes, and then legally we have to remove them and put new worms on set. So they were well taken care of.
Wow, Felipe, I didn't know you had to take the regulations for worms.
They're hard to direct too. They don't hit their marks.
You had doubles, essentially.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah. They,
God.
they have their unions to protect.
Yeah, that's probably the grossest thing. I don't like worms either. So the fact that you had to do with them for real freaks me out. I thought they were, movie magic.
No, they
Uh-uh.
were real. They were real.
Oh man. So, it takes place in an apartment, but it feels like a cavern, right? Felipe, what was the set like? I mean, it had to be a big set because you have all these, hidden areas and that sort.
Yeah, I think when it came to this apartment, we really put a lot of love and care and detail. And you can watch the movie two, three times and you'll notice new details in those shelves, in the hidden rooms, in the secret rooms. I think what you said is exactly what we were going for. It felt like a cavern. It feels like a place you go deeper and deeper. It's like the layers of hell. It's like a Russian doll. You just go further and further into this world that is claustrophobic and terrifying, but also full of textures and culture and love.
Now, Emerald, as Latinos, we're very superstitious. So, did you feel like or both of you, did you feel like you needed a limpia afterwards because you're dealing with, some things that are,
My limpia was going on vacation. That's my limpia from to try to get out of character. To remove, go to the beach. It takes place in New York, but we shot this in Colombia. So I got to,
Mm.
it was my first time in Colombia. So I got to explore like Valle de Salento, which is like, right? Is Salento? Yeah, which is the coffee region. And then I went to the beach, and that was my cleanse for the movie.
What about for you, Felipe?
When you're dealing with these occult, darker themes, you definitely immerse yourself in that world and you can feel the energy that some of these items and objects and sacrifices and rituals give off. So it was very important to us to change some of the lines, to have someone eventually bless the set, and to just be very cognizant of that. And for me, after we wrapped, same as Emerald, took a little bit of a breather, a vacation.
All right. Well, congratulations. It reminded me of a lot of Drag Me to Hell, and
I
I
love
love Drag Me to Hell. So,
that. Sam Raimi is a huge influence for this movie. We're huge Raimi fans. Evil Dead 2, Drag Me to Hell. Absolutely.
All right. Well, people like it. Drag Me to Hell. You'll like Rosario as well. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Lupe.
All right. Thank you. Adios.